Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. We are back. Chelsea versus Arsenal. This Saturday night is probably the most excited I've been for a game all season because, if you forgot, because we've had another international break, there's really not been much Chelsea news. I didn't want to waste your time, didn't want to waste my own. We've been scouting an Ivorian centre-back because Trevor Chalobah might be leaving. Thiago Silva, there's questions about him. Here's the profile of the player. His name is Diamandi or Diamandi. Don't really know too much about this guy. He's 1.90 m. He's very tall. That's really the only real Chelsea news there has been, as well as Mudryk scoring his first goal last night for Ukraine in a 3-1 win for Ukraine national team against Malta. And obviously, if he's fit enough to play for Ukraine, then he should be fit enough to play for Chelsea at the weekend. And there's still questions about Cole Palmer going into that Arsenal game. I want to talk about a couple of additional talking points because this Arsenal game is bigger than some of the games that we've had recently where we've come away with 3 points. We're starting to score. But before I do get into that, I want to tell you guys again about the Telegram. Until we hit 5,000 followers in the Telegram group, I'm not able to give away the £500 in cash that I'll be giving to one of you. So check the top link in the description. Join the Telegram. It's in partnership with Go Markets, who are Chelsea's trading partners. So as well as giving you guys little life updates, little videos, extra little bits about Chelsea, we also talk about trading in there. Something I had no knowledge of, which now I have progressively become more knowledgeable about. So go and join the Telegram if you want to win the money, but you also want to learn a bit about my partnership with Go Markets. First things first, I want to talk about a player who doesn't play for Chelsea anymore, Kai Havertz. I want to kind of talk about all of the talking points building up to this Arsenal game before we hear Pochettino's press conference. Because when it comes to tactically planning for this game, we need to know how many injuries we've got. We've had so many injuries so far this season. We thought it was going to be left in last season. We've brought back some of the medical staff that we got rid of because apparently that was the reason why we had so many injuries all the flipping time. So I want to see who's actually going to be fit and ready to play. But Kai Havertz, I saw an interesting debate on Twitter about whether or not Chelsea fans will boo Kai Havertz. And of course, me booing out here in Bali is not going to be heard inside Stamford Bridge. And an individual person who might boo Havertz, probably not really going to have much impact on him, the game, or anything else. No one really cares. But the fact of the matter is, I find it very fascinating that we could boo a player who scored arguably the joint most important goal in Chelsea's history. And I do want to know where you guys sit on this, because I think it's an interesting debate amongst football fandom right now about allegiance. Does the word allegiance and tying yourself to a club, confessing your love for a football club, does it hold the same weight as it may have done before? So I want to know what you guys think about booing Havertz. Me personally, I couldn't boo him. The same way that I probably wouldn't boo Mason Mount if I was at Stamford Bridge. It's a personal choice. I think anyone who's a Chelsea player who's been involved in winning us a Champions League, the Champions League is just the pinnacle for me. When it comes to those footballing experiences that I hold dearest, that I cherish the most, the Champions League is the one. So if it was me, I wouldn't be booing Kai Havertz against Arsenal. Each to their own. Do whatever you want to do. But do let me know where you stand on this in the comments down below. So, we've had an international break. A lot of Chelsea players have been doing good bits during the international break. We've had some good news during the international break. Nkunku's injury, he's not going to be ready for Arsenal, of course. Probably not going to be ready in November. But it's getting earlier, that return date for Christopher Nkunku. But for Chelsea, what do we need to continue with? Well, the first thing I want to talk about here in the lead up to this game is the left-hand side. Because that left-hand side against Burnley, seeing Chelsea score 4 goals and seeing just how important and pivotal Raheem Sterling's performance and role was within that victory tells me, when you look at Sterling's history against Arsenal also, he's had a really good time against them in the past, particularly for Manchester City. So I think that left-hand side is absolutely key. Now, with Ben Chilwell out, with Ian Maatsen clearly not preferred in a defensive role, I think one of the biggest questions that we're going to have in the lead up to this game is who plays left back. Now, I've said that I would have been happy in the last couple of games with Levi Colwill still being a left back, even though I didn't like it a couple of weeks ago. But when you look at the way that Arsenal press, when you look at Robert Sanchez and his distribution, one of the biggest things that Chelsea are going to need to work on in this game, if we're to beat Arsenal, is understanding where the goal kicks go, understanding where the distribution patterns begin when Sanchez is in possession of the ball. Now, when I think about Levi Colwill and I think about building that left side for Chelsea in this game, I think that the way that the Arsenal striker, be it Jesus, you've then got Martinelli, Odegaard, Saka, these players that put serious pressure on the back line when the goalkeeper distributes the ball. Would it be an idea in this game to put Levi Colwill in his natural centre-back position as one of the more composed centre-backs when it comes to receiving the ball and getting rid of it quickly, being able to play a pass, a line-breaking pass, that I think Chelsea are going to absolutely need to do very well in order to beat Arsenal this weekend? It's all well and good being like, yeah, it's been an international break, we've won 3 in a row, Arsenal, surely they can't go invincible again. 8 games played, 6 games won, 2 drawn. But I just think Chelsea here, Pochettino has got a lot to do when it comes to preparing this team with all the injuries that we have. But maybe Cucurella at left back. This is the only other option that we've got here. Or Benoit Badiashile. Is Badiashile going to be back and ready, fit enough to start his first game of the season against the team who are top of the league? Badiashile can then go in a left centre-back position. Levi Colwill can continue in that left-back position. We've seen that Badiashile can be very competent on the ball. He's strong, he's quick, he can carry it out of the defence too. But I think Sanchez's performance, when it comes to not just saving Arsenal shots, which they are going to have chances, Arsenal, in this game, and Sanchez has been good recently, it's the distribution out from the back that Chelsea are going to have to get absolutely spot on in this game. The way that Arteta kind of uses that press in 2 different ways with the defenders, basically, those wing-backs or full-backs, your Ben Whites, maybe your Zinchenko's in this one, absolutely flooding. I think if Chelsea can get the ball into the middle of the park here with Gallagher, Enzo, Caicedo have been building that partnership so well over the course of the past few games. If Chelsea can bypass that initial attacking press from Arteta's Arsenal, then I think that we can absolutely go at them and score a couple of goals. Yes, they've been very good defensively, but I think that is where the key is going to be here for Chelsea, the way that the build-up is, which is why that left side has to have the explosiveness of Sterling, and then if Cole Palmer is fit, then that's where I think the balance comes for Chelsea in this game to be able to bypass that Arteta press and get Chelsea competitive. I think all of the pundits have had their say on how this game's going to go. A lot of people are looking at it thinking, well, Arsenal are just so much better than Chelsea, so surely they're the favourites. They are the favourites. And I think realistically, if I had to pick a winner right now and someone put a gun to my head, I would still say Arsenal. But what I wouldn't underestimate is that progress that Chelsea have made. And that is why, going into this massive match, I am just so bloody excited for it. I'll let you guys know now, before the weekend, I'm going to enjoy this one. And then we're bringing the streams back from next week. So I'm going to go out and enjoy this Arsenal game for Chelsea here, because that's where the majority of my friends are. They're either Arsenal fans or, of course, Chelsea fans. But I do think we can get a result. I really, really do. And I think it all begins with the goalkeeper and how we build the play from the back to bypass that Arsenal press. That is where I'm thinking right now. As we go into the weekend, we're going to talk about this one a lot more. Going to try and do a roundup of all of the Chelsea players on international break for tomorrow. And then on Friday, we will deliver you lot the preview, where I actually build my team and go into this in more detail. Always fascinating when we play Arsenal. Fascinating because it is a derby. It's always one of the biggest games. But the way that Arsenal are playing, I wouldn't even say they've hit where I think they can hit in terms of their peak this season. But they've already beaten Guardiola twice. Community Shield, Premier League, they're top of the bloody league. So this is not going to be easy. But we're building momentum here. I'd take a draw. That's where I'm just going to leave it right now. These are the early thoughts of the week. Let me know yours in the comments down below and tell me, would you be booing, will you be booing Kai Havertz at the weekend? We're back. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in a bit.